The Battle of Naseby, fought on June 14th, 1645, marked a pivotal moment in the English Civil War. It was a decisive victory for the parliamentarian New Model Army. King Charles II's Royalist forces faced a well-organized and highly motivated opponent. The campaign leading up to Naseby had been fraught with strategic missteps for the Royalists. Charles had initially planned to relieve Chester, a besieged Royalist stronghold. However, he diverted his army to attack Leicester, hoping to draw the New Model Army north. This move proved to be a tactical success in the short term, as Leicester fell to the Royalists. Yet, it ultimately played into Parliament's hands. The New Model Army, under Sir Thomas Fairfax and Oliver Cromwell, was eager for a decisive engagement. They had been pursuing the Royalist army for weeks. Fairfax, a skilled and determined commander, was relentless in his pursuit. Cromwell, his formidable cavalry general, provided crucial leadership and tactical genius. The parliamentarian forces were well supplied and disciplined. Their morale was high, fueled by a belief in their cause. The Royalist army, by contrast, was increasingly stretched and demoralized. Many of their experienced commanders were absent. Their supplies were dwindling, and their pay was irregular. As the two armies converged near Naseby, the stage was set for a monumental clash. On the morning of June 14th, the Royalist army, numbering around 9,000 men, deployed on Naseby Ridge. Their position offered some defensive advantages. King Charles III was present, a figurehead for his loyal subjects. Prince Rupert, the king's nephew and a renowned cavalry commander, led the Royalist right wing. Lord Astley commanded the Royalist infantry in the center. Sir Marmaduke Langday led the Northern Horse on the left wing. The parliamentarian New Model Army, with approximately 14,000 men, took up positions on Dust Hill. Fairfax commanded the center, with Skippon leading the infantry. Cromwell commanded the parliamentarian right-wing cavalry. His Ironsides were a formidable force, known for their discipline and religious zeal. Henry Ireton commanded the parliamentarian left-wing cavalry. The terrain was open, rolling farmland, ideal for cavalry maneuvers. A slight depression, known as Broad Moor, lay between the two armies. This dip in the ground would conceal the initial movements of both sides. The wind was blowing from the north, favoring the parliamentarians. This meant Royalist musket smoke would blow back into their own lines. The battle began with Prince Rupert's impetuous charge. His cavalry swept down from Naseby Ridge, crashing into Ireton's parliamentarian left wing. The Royalist charge was devastatingly effective. Ireton's cavalry was initially overwhelmed and driven back. Ireton himself was wounded and briefly captured. However, the parliamentarian cavalry, though broken, did not rout completely. They regrouped and continued to offer resistance. Rupert, in his characteristic eagerness, pursued the fleeing parliamentarians far from the main battle. This decision, while initially successful, would prove costly. His absence from the field at a critical juncture was a major tactical blunder. Meanwhile, on the other Royalist flank, Langdale's Northern Horse engaged Cromwell's Ironsides. This was a much more evenly matched contest. Cromwell's cavalry held their ground, fighting with disciplined ferocity. They did not break formation or pursue too far. Their training and cohesion were evident. In the center, the Royalist infantry, led by Lord Astley, advanced steadily. They were a veteran force, many having fought in earlier battles. They engaged Skippon's parliamentarian infantry in a brutal push of pike and musket fire. The fighting was fierce and protracted. Both sides suffered heavy casualties. Skippon, despite being wounded early in the engagement, refused to leave the field. His determination inspired his men. The parliamentarian infantry, though initially pushed back, held their ground. They were supported by reserves and artillery. New model armies' training and discipline began to tell. Their ranks remained relatively unbroken. The royalist infantry, despite their bravery, started to waver. Their lines became disordered under sustained pressure. It was on the parliamentarian right wing that the tide truly turned. Cromwell's Ironsides, having repelled Langdale's cavalry, did not pursue them far. Instead, Cromwell demonstrated remarkable tactical awareness. He wheeled a portion of his cavalry to attack the exposed flank of the royalist infantry. This was a decisive maneuver. The royalist infantry, already struggling in the center, were now attacked from two sides. The impact was immediate and catastrophic. Their formations disintegrated. Many threw down their arms and surrendered. Others attempted to flee, only to be cut down by the parliamentarian cavalry. The royalist center collapsed entirely. The King's Life Guard, a small but elite cavalry unit, attempted to protect Charles I. They fought bravely, but were ultimately overwhelmed. Prince Rupert, returning from his ill-advised pursuit, found the royalist army in complete disarray. The infantry was routed, and the field was lost. He attempted to rally his cavalry for a final charge. However, the sight of their shattered comrades and the overwhelming parliamentarian numbers demoralized his men. The royalist cavalry, once so formidable, refused to engage. Charles I, seeing the hopelessness of the situation, was urged to flee by his attendants. He reluctantly left the field, his hopes for victory dashed. The Battle of Naseby was a crushing defeat for the royalists. Thousands of royalist soldiers were killed or captured. Their artillery, baggage train, and the king's personal papers were seized. These papers, revealing Charles's attempts to seek foreign aid, were a propaganda coup for Parliament. The battle effectively destroyed the king's main field army. It marked the beginning of the end for the royalist cause in the First English Civil War. The new model army proved its superiority as a professional fighting force. Their discipline, training, and leadership were unmatched. Naseby was not just a military victory, it was a psychological blow from which the royalists never recovered. It paved the way for Parliament's ultimate triumph. The battle's legacy continues to be studied by military historians. It stands as a testament to the importance of disciplined cavalry and combined arms tactics. The fields of Naseby, once a scene of bloody conflict, now stand as a quiet reminder of a nation divided. The wind still sweeps across the ridge, carrying echoes of a bygone era. The sun sets over the quiet landscape, marking the passage of centuries. The memory of the clash remains etched in history. The English Civil War reshaped the nation's future. The parliamentarian victory at Naseby was a crucial step in that transformation. It solidified the power of Parliament. It led to the eventual execution of King Charles I. The battle's impact resonated for generations. It fundamentally altered the balance of power. The new model army's reputation grew immensely. Fairfax and Cromwell emerged as national heroes. The royalist cause dwindled after this defeat. Many royalist strongholds fell in the following months. The war continued for another year, but the outcome was largely decided. Naseby was the turning point. The king's forces were never again able to mount a serious challenge. The parliamentarian cause gained unstoppable momentum. The common soldiers fought with immense courage. The officers displayed strategic brilliance. The landscape bore witness to the struggle. The sound of cannons echoed across the fields. The clash of steel was deafening. The cries of men filled the air. The smoke of battle obscured the sun. The ground was stained with blood. The wounded lay where they fell. The dead were counted after the fighting ceased. The victors rejoiced. The vanquished mourned. The future of England hung in the balance. The battle decided that future. The parliamentarians believed in their divine mission. The royalists fought for their king. Both sides believed they were righteous. The conflict was deeply ideological. Common people suffered greatly. The war devastated the countryside. Naseby was a microcosm of the larger conflict. It showed the brutality of civil war. It highlighted the human cost. The strategic implications were vast. The tactical lessons were profound. The battle is a cornerstone of English history. It shaped the modern British state. The memory of Naseby endures. It is a story of courage and conviction. It is a story of loss and triumph. It is a story of a nation finding its way. The fields are now peaceful. The past is remembered. The lessons are learned. The history is preserved. The legacy continues. The English Civil War was a defining period. Naseby was its defining battle. The parliamentarian cause was strengthened. The royalist cause was weakened. The balance of power shifted irrevocably. The future of England was forged on that day. The sun shone down on the conflict. The clouds gathered overhead. The air was thick with tension. The soldiers prepared for battle. The commanders gave their orders. The drums beat a steady rhythm. The trumpets sounded the charge. The muskets fired in volleys. The pikes clashed in close combat. The cavalry rode with fury. The infantry stood firm. The battle raged for hours. The outcome was uncertain for a time. But then the royalist lines broke. The rout began. The pursuit was relentless. The victory was complete. The new model army had proven its worth. Their faith and discipline carried them through. The royalists were left to contemplate their defeat. Their king's cause was in ruins. The war would soon end. Naseby was the beginning of the end. The fields of Naseby hold many secrets. The echoes of history resonate there. The story of Naseby is a powerful one. It speaks of sacrifice and determination. It speaks of a nation's struggle for identity. It speaks of the enduring power of human conflict. The battle was a turning point in the war. It was a turning point for England. The consequences were far-reaching. The impact was profound. The memory of Naseby lives on. It is a crucial chapter in English history. The battle was fought with great ferocity. The stakes were incredibly high. The outcome changed everything. The parliamentarians celebrated their triumph. The royalists lamented their loss. The land itself remembers the struggle. The wind whispers tales of the past. The sun rises and sets over the quiet fields. The history of Naseby is a powerful narrative. It's a story that continues to captivate. It is a testament to the human spirit. It is a reminder of the cost of war. The Battle of Naseby, a name etched in time.